welcome back, everybody. So, this is part 2 of Why Podcast. So, let's get into a little bit about process and things you need to do to actually start to make a podcast more than just blah, 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 and something into a great show, because I'm going to be totally honest with you on this one. There's some people out there that they teach podcasting just for the sake of hearing their voices and teaching you to hear your voice. There is a whole lot more you can do with this when you put some quality behind it. There's a whole world of syndication, FM radio, ways that you can get your voice out there in front of more people than just iTunes. If we use iHeart and Spotify and Google Play, there's more ways that you can actually reach around the world when you learn how to make a quality show so that it can be found on FM radio. And it also opens up another stream of revenue that you can sell them your show. Something more to think about that. Okay, so process is your friend. You want to develop a process that actually leads a person from the time that you contact them to ask them about doing an interview all the way through to the interview is done, and the link is actually uploaded onto your blog, your social media, the whole bit. Okay? So, and I'm going to give you maybe a little bit of insight into how we do things at Depiction Media with that. Okay? So, first thing we do is a lot of times we use tools like helpareporter.com. We use Google Alerts for different issues that we might want to report on. Okay, there is some journalism behind this, and if you really want to make a great and interesting show, you're going to become partly a journalist. Okay. So there's lead development and things that you're going to need to do to make that happen. Okay, but before we even get into all that, what is the message that you want the show to have? Work it out. Work out what you want that show to say, what those stories are going to be about, the basic theme, what it's going to have. Then, after you've worked that part out, who is it that you want to bring into the show to actually help tell those stories? What did they look like? Who are the experts? Who are the colleagues? If you're also one of the experts, who are the colleagues that you want to bring in that are going to help you get that message across? Who has coinciding messages and messages of alignment with yours to actually help you get that out there? Okay, so when you work with us here at Depictions, we actually have a worksheet that will actually start to walk you through all this to the clarity of what your show is going to be about. Next thing you want to do is start to work on a format and a formula. There's going to be quite a chunk of scripting involved in this, especially at the very beginning until you start to actually get your flow going. Okay? Because people who are listening want to hear consistency. They want to know that when they tune in and they hear the opening music come in and everything, that it's going to be something enjoyable to them that they're going to want to hear time and time again. Okay, so format and formula. Okay, and development of your message. Like I said, we have a worksheet that actually helps you figure all this sort of thing out. Okay, so you're going to sit down and you're going to figure that part out, and then you're going to figure out how you're going to attract people into your show. How are you going to attract great people to interview? Okay, start to develop a list of people so that everything is kind of planned out. You got to plan things out. It's like, who are the people that share this message or share this idea with you? So you want to put them out there, and and don't be afraid to put on that list people that have names. So you'd be surprised. You tell a celebrity that you have a podcast and that you're trying to get a message out, they'll jump in and join you. You'd be surprised. Okay. So, formula. How to attract the right people. So when you have them in there, part of that is you're going to send them a welcome email that has the time, the date of when their interview will be, and what you will need for them to have a great conversation. If you listen to yesterday's episode with Karen Derringer, I'm going to lift a little bit from behind the scenes. We had a great time. No doubt we had a great time. But one of the reasons why we had such a great time is because there was no stress around what was going to happen next. We were able to relax. And when you get people to relax and they open up, great times happen. Okay? So part of how I did that was I asked her, what is it that's on your mind right now to talk about? She wanted to talk about her books. She wanted to talk about how she helps people in our world. That's what she wanted to talk about. So that's what you heard. And we had a really great time with it. So, make people relaxed, and how I do it is I ask them to give me a couple questions or a couple topics that they like to talk about. Ask them. Along with that, as part of your formula that is behind the scenes that nobody may actually not ever see, is research into who this person is. Especially if they're a celebrity or an influencer in your field. Who are they? Okay? So, you want to have a formula that brings people in. You want to have a format so that listeners know exactly what they're going to hear. You want to have a directed conversation with the person that you're interviewing. Now, I will tell you this on the media relations end. When a clientele asks me, it's like, oh, should I do the interview with somebody or not? Ask them what they want to talk about. Or do you have control over that? It's like, if you're the one being interviewed, you don't want to do an interview unless you know what the questions and answers are going to be ahead of time. So as the producer of the podcast, give them that. You'll attract more people in. Okay? So give them what the conversation is going to be about. I like to let them tell me what they want to talk about, and then if you can always say, hey, you know what, that doesn't fit our topic at this time, can we, and you can book them out later on because it doesn't fit in with a stream. You can always book them out later on, bring them back for a later show or something. It is okay to do that. Okay, so give the person that you're interviewing direction into what the topic matter is, and let them know what the ultimate agenda of the interview is going to be, so that everybody can relax and have fun with it. So I've given you a bunch of information. Some of the worksheets and air notes will appear soon on our website in a special spot in depictions.media, and because we want to share with you how we do things, because hey, we just want to be helpful and help people produce really great shows, and maybe ultimately you'll hire us to do your show for you. So with that being said, check us out at depictions.media, and I will talk to everybody tomorrow about how to use your voice so that you bring more listeners to you. All right, because we got to be entertaining. So remember, formula, format, direction for your podcast. Sit down and do your research into what your message is going to be with the show, and follow through on that as you bring people in, giving them an agenda of what you're going to ask and what they might have answers for. Okay, so see you tomorrow. And oh wait, hold on, tomorrow is Good Friday. Excuse me. You may not hear me tomorrow with a podcast message. We will continue this series on Why Podcast on Monday. That would be Easter Monday. So, talk to everybody later, and have a great and happy Easter. All right, bye for now.